In the morning, everybody's a bit slow, it's okay, it's comfortable. Then we eat, and then we want to sleep, right? So when I saw the time, I thought, wow, it's going to be interesting. We'll see how we do. As we mentioned, my name is Becky Elliott. I've been in Korea since 1999. I came when I was 12. Not really. I'm getting up there in years. I've worked as a teacher teaching every age group ranging from kindergarten to adult. I have teacher training certificates and as well Masters of Early Childhood Education. So for those of you who had a big lunch and you're comfortable, close your books, move a little bit. Woohoo! Today's session is going to be interactive. That means if you came hoping to sit at the back or even in the front, play your handphone game, send some messages, catch up on email, I'm sorry, you're out of luck. Today's session will be speaking. Not only me speaking, but all of you speaking together. Okay? I'll close my eyes. You have 10 seconds to run out if you'd rather go to the other session. Okay. Good. So we're all ready. Good. Now, I apologize in advance. I do have a bit of a cold. So at some point, I'm going to go drink some water so I don't cough all over you all. Let's get started. So is everybody sitting with somebody? Move closer, turn around. Find some people to talk to. So today's topics. Today we're going to talk about why connecting with our students is important. And I'm going to walk around, so I'm connecting with all of you as well. You'll find that, the poor videographers who would prefer I just stay still. And we're also going to talk about how do we get our students to speak. That's part of interacting. Today's activities will be geared towards younger learners, early childhood and elementary. However, the activities can be modified and used with really any age group. We're going to talk about the steps to implementing a successful activity. A lot of times we go in and we think we're going to do this and then, oh no, let's just get out the book and stick with the book because that way everything will work. So we're going to talk about how to do activities by steps. So as a teacher, it's not intimidating either. We're going to talk about how to use games effectively. As we know, especially for those who teach younger learners, parents, they hear the word game, they think fun, and they think, no, that's not learning. Right? And then we have to call and talk to the moms. And, oh, my name. And then, yes, we're going to get out the book and we're going to write more. But today we're going to talk about how to use games effectively. And finally, we're going to talk about how can we get our students interested in speaking English. Sounds like a lot, right? It's not. Don't worry. We'll go quickly. So, before we begin, how many of you teach kindergarten students? Quite a few. Elementary? Many. Middle school? Middle school is the rough group, right? You know, I'd rather teach 5-year-olds kindergarten. I go into a middle school class and I'm like, oh, this is going to be hard. Middle school, the tough age. High school. A few in the back. Adult and university. Okay, a few. The other tough age, because they know what they want. And they know better than us, right? Okay, until I get this sorted out, I'll be getting my exercise. So, have you ever had any of these thoughts? My classes are too big to get the students interacting. I had that thought when I came in here today. I took a look around and I thought, I'm going to be brave and we're going to do activities, even though we have a big group. My students don't speak English well enough to have discussions and interactions. How many of you have been teaching for 5 years or less? Over 5 years. Over 10 years. Over 20 years. See, my hand came down then. Even as experienced teachers, it can be hard when we go in and we think, doesn't matter what the age group, oh, my students don't speak enough for this, so let's just repeat. Listen to the CD and repeat, and they'll get it. And authentic interaction, no, we can't do that, right? Very common. What about this one? How can I make my class more interesting? Have you ever, you have your routine, right? As teachers, we all have our routine. And then we break away from the routine, often, sometimes. And does it always work? Sometimes it works. And when it doesn't work, you think, well, that's enough of that. Who cares about interesting? We're just going to get through this book, right? I've been doing it for 15 years. It's good enough for me. Therefore, it's good enough for the kids. Okay? I have too many classes, right? Start in the morning, go tonight. I have too many classes. It's impossible. How can I prepare so that my classes are more interesting? I see some of you nodding. You've had that feeling. I think we all have. Today's workshop, I call it a workshop because this is the most I'm going to speak is at the beginning. And then your ears will be full of other voices. The purpose of today's workshop is to hopefully just give you some activities that we'll try out today. Then you can also do in your classes. You notice I said close the books. It's because everything requires very little preparation. You just have to plan it. I saw thumbs up there. You don't have to photocopy, cut, laminate, color, right? None of that. We don't have time for that. We're teachers, right? Okay, woohoo. Good, good, good. Now, let's go to our next slide. Let's think. This is going to be a little warm-up activity for you to get to know who's sitting next to you, or in front of you or behind you. Groups of 3 or 4 or 5 is perfect. Okay, so please get together, introduce yourselves, and let's talk about who did you interact with today. Interact with, I also added in speak. Who did you speak to today? You have 2 minutes. Wonderful. See, I said I'd move. Here we go. Wow, silence as I move closer to the back, right? That's what we know when it's going to be good. And then soon I'm going to have to detour around. So I'll talk to you guys later. So in the front, who did we speak to today? Silence. And then we offer our friends up for the slaughter. Who did we speak to today?
I spoke to Nettie.
Nettie?
And Grace.
Nettie and Grace. Good, good. And Gary? Good. Gary, who'd you speak to today?
I spoke to Nettie and Grace.
Okay. Wow, pretty quiet world, right? Just like me. I talked to my dog today. Yeah. Lulu come, Lulu sit. Yeah, that one. Okay, good. Little bit of interaction. Who did we speak to over here?
I spoke to my roommates.
Roommates? Wow, it gets so quiet as soon as I move back here. You know, from the front, everybody's looking, awake, and then I move back here, then the eyes start moving, and oh, she's not going to look at me, she's not going to look at me. So I'll go back up to the front. Who else did we speak to today? See, now we have the back to us. Who did you speak to today?
I spoke with my younger sister.
With your younger sister? What did you talk about?
Now she's getting married.
Oh, so you have many things to plan, right? You've been at a conference about teaching all day. Surely you've talked to some other people, right? In Korean, in English? See, head goes down. Who did you speak to today?
I just spoke with my friend.
Spoke with our friend? And our group? Yes. Our group. You know, it's hard when you're on the spot. You have to think of their names, right? So we talk to our friends. What about over here?
My dog.
Your dog, right? See, we should be friends. Then we can talk to each other. Wow, quite quiet. So do you speak a lot every day? No, Gary's shaking his head. No. And thinking, why am I sitting here? Why didn't I go farther to the back? Do you speak a lot? Yeah? Do your kids talk a lot?
Yeah, too much.
They talk too much. Now, do they talk to you?
They talk to each other.
They talk to each other, right? Do they talk in English? They try. Oh, that's good. That's good. What do they try to talk about?
They sometimes talk about the games they play.
They talk about the games they play? Do they talk about the books they're reading? No. No, not at all. When you say, everybody take out your book and open to Unit 3, what do?
They kind of daydream, you know.
They daydream.
Blink their eyes.
They blink their eyes. They jerk to wake up, right? So life is really, really interesting up until we get out the book, right? Okay. So today's topic is obviously going to be a lot more about speaking. So why is speaking important? So we can express ourselves? For communication? To communicate? To improve our English skills, right? Actually, honestly, I'm surprised there are as many of you here in this room right now as there are. Normally, everybody, you know, your supervisors, your managers, your 교수부장, your 원장, they talk to you about get the kids to speak, right? I'm worried, right? You've seen this expression too. This is not a good expression, right? The hands are crossed. I'm worried you're just not getting the kids to speak enough, right? Have you heard that before? Many times. Thankfully, the people in the front are talkative as well. So today we're going to talk about, are the books helpful for getting you to get the kids speaking? No. Sometimes. So we're going to go through some activities. Doesn't matter. We're using the book Superstar today. It's a great book. It's fun. I actually really like the songs. We're going to get to that later. If you like songs, it's your kind of day. If you don't like songs, sorry. Sneak out when you can. Yeah, we're going to talk about these activities can be used with any book, basically, and anything that you're doing. A lot of speaking is just getting your students, I say kids because I teach kids. You can probably tell by my behavior. But getting your students motivated, okay? So this is why speaking is important. I still didn't get my clicker working. Speaking is a form of output, right? What's our other form of output? Writing. Speaking and writing. Trend words right there. We need more speaking and writing. It's a means of building fluency, right? A lot of our students, especially in Korea, they're great readers, right? They can pick out the vocabulary words. I'm always impressed with how many words they can memorize, right? That's how I learned too. I speak French. I had my French dictionary. I can memorize words like you would not believe. Yeah, but can I use them? No, no. No, je ne peux pas. I cannot, right? So speaking is a way of building fluency. A lot of our students can read. They can write. There are some errors, but they can write. You say, open your books, read aloud, or read quietly. Take out the paper, write. No problem, right? But then speak. Put into groups, and it's silence. So speaking is a means of fluency, and we need that if we're going to be fluent with the 4 skills, reading, writing, speaking, and listening. It's a way of expressing ourselves as well. Are you comfortable expressing yourself? I see some shaking of the heads, right? You can think what you want to say, not necessarily in English, sometimes in Korean, another language, but then to express it, I'm fine, thank you. Right? And I say that because I've been here long enough, my Korean should be better than it is. And every so often, somebody asks me something, I know the answer, my mouth opens, nothing comes out, right? We've seen our students do that. It's because they're missing the accuracy. And then we're pushing them, speak, 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 you have to speak, right? And then we begin answering for them. How are you today? Oh, you're happy, you're sad, you're tired. And then as teachers, we get sore throats, right? We're so busy giving all the answers. So part of what we're going to do today is step back and give people time to respond. Because remember, anybody who's learning a second or a third language, if you ask them, we need to give our students time to respond. Okay? It's a way of developing accuracy. It's practice. To do anything, you need to practice. How many of you play a musical instrument? A few. Nobody in the front. So I'll have to walk to the back, and it's okay. Who plays a musical instrument? And then nobody anymore. Right? I spotted my target. Here we go. Okay, which instrument do you play?
Violin.
You play the violin. How long have you played the violin? More than 10 years. Do you practice every day?
No.
Did you when you were young? No. So okay, so now it leads to my next question. Are you ever going to earn money by playing the violin?
I could.
You could, but what would you have to do? No, right, no. Right, you need to practice. I grew up, I played the piano. My mother, I'm from Canada. Maybe you can tell by the accent. I grew up from Canada. My mother's way of having me play the piano was, we've paid for a piano, we've paid for lessons. You're going to practice. So she got out the egg timer. I'm showing my age now. And she'd set it for 1 hour and put it right next to the piano, but far enough that I couldn't reach it to change the time. If I stopped for longer than 1 minute, she would come and reset the timer. So I practiced every day. It wasn't fun. I had no choice. It was play the piano or you won't do something fun. But as a result, I became a good piano player. I wasn't earning money, but good enough. So then, life gets busy. I got older. I had to work. I had to do other things. But I still thought, I'm a piano player. So one day I sat down at the piano, deep breath. Ding. It was bad because I hadn't practiced. Now a skill, I can still play a scale, things like that. I can still play some music, but it's not like what it used to be because I don't have the egg timer and the forced practice. But it's the same thing with language. If we're going to speak, write, listen, read fluently, we need to practice and develop accuracy. Same thing with my French. My French is now un peu, a little bit, right? And it's also speaking as a way of delivering information. Okay? Any questions about this? So, mini lesson 1. This is where it's a bit quiet now. We have some nerves. I've worked with a group this big before. We'll be fine. Look and listen. How are we going to make this into an activity, right? Have you seen this page before? No. Yeah, but similar. How many of you have seen a page like this before? Oh, come on. All of you raise your hand. Anybody who's been teaching for 6 months, you've seen a page like this before. What it introduces, in our case, see, nothing's working. It introduces the unit. So today, in our workshop, we're going to talk about my room. Does that sound exciting? We have a few trying in the front. Yes, it sounds exciting. Okay, we're going to talk about my room. So always the first page of the unit, we introduce the setting. This is actually my house, and we introduce the phrases. Now all of you look like how your students feel. We were having fun before, right? Now fun time's over, we're in the book. But we're going to do it a little bit differently. So I'm going to play the audio. It's going to run through twice. So listen carefully. The activity is going to be a bit different than you think. So, are you ready? Oh, that sounds so weak. Are you ready?
Yes.
Are you excited?
Yes.
Okay, you sound excited. Good. Okay, ready? Let's open our listening ears, right?
Page 24, B. Listen and find the speakers.
Hello, may I come in? Yes, come in.
Meow.
One more time.
Twice, right.
Hello, may I come in? Yes, come in.
Okay, we got it. Now, we're finished listening for now. Are you ready for your activity?
Yes.
Yes. What do you think I'm going to make you do? She's smart. Have we met before? Right. So let's go back to our groups. Okay? I don't see people turning. Go back to your groups. Right? So go back to our groups. You can see that. What I'd like you to do with your groups is act out what you just listened to. You can use your quiet voices. And don't worry, I'm not going to ask anybody to present it. Okay? You have 2 minutes. Okay. This is another way of doing it. Often we play, listen, listen, listen. Who's speaking? We know who's speaking. I can tell because when I went down, I heard. Who's going to be the little girl? Who's going to be the woman? So I can tell just by walking around, you know who the people are. More importantly, I saw this. I heard meow, meow, right? Different sounds. So therefore, I got it as a teacher. I got it. You know what's going on. So now for our next activity, I'm going to go to the back. Our people in the front are probably very happy now, right? I see a smile. We're still covering our eyes because we don't know how far to the back we're going to go. Okay, we saw somebody made eye contact. We have target acquired. So, hello. See, now he's going to ignore me and move away. What's your name?
My name's Jackie.
Jackie, can you help me?
Sure.
Can you pick 3 of your friends, please?
Oh, yes.
See, we just passed that over to Jackie. You have 10 seconds to pick your friends and head up to the front. Okay, over here. What's your name?
New.
New? Can you pick 3 of your friends and meet me up in the front, please? Woo! Okay, let's go. We have 10 seconds. People in the front are watching. Often, when you ask your students, who wants to help me? How many of them raise their hands? Some of them? All of them? No. 1 or 2? This is a great way to do it. Because I didn't want to go and find 8 people. I thought that would be hard, so I tasked Jackie and Nu. Thank you. Where the others are coming. We need 1 more. Okay, Nu, can you come to the front, please, and bring your friends? Let's line up. Okay, you see what I'm doing? They don't know what's going to happen, right? This makes it more exciting for me because I can build in the suspense. But also it's easier for me as a teacher to control, right? Because you don't know what's happening, right? She's looking at me like, I don't trust her. Okay. Now, normally we wouldn't have to do this. So here's what we're going to do. We have a question line and an answer line. Okay, Marika, I'm coming back over to you. You're first. Use your big voice, please. Okay? What does the question say?
May I come in?
May I come in?
Yes.
Come in. Good. Now can you go down there? And then Nu, you come here. No, just come on. Don't see you. You're safe. Now you get to go behind Jackie. Okay? Can you ask the question?
May I come in? Yes, come in.
Good, then switch. Wow, don't we have good students? Can you ask the question?
May I come in? Yes, come in.
Woohoo!
May I come in?
Yes, you may.
Good, let's switch. And this is where, too, we think, phew, I'm done. Except we know there's a catch because I'm not letting them go sit down, right? So now, can you ask the question?
May I come in?
Yes, come in.
This is why we're doing it with a small group instead of all of you.
May I come in? Yes, come in.
Is it whoa?
May I come in?
Yes, come in.
May I come in?
Yes, please come in.
Woo! Good job, everybody. Thank you. Go sit down. I'm sorry I didn't bring any candy. But talk to somebody from Language World. They'll give you a prize at the end. Tell them I said so. And hopefully they have something ready. Small prize, it's okay. So that was very simple, right? Very simple. Yeah. Looked easy, right? Would you like to know what happened the first time I did that activity? We all came up to the front. But I had started with everybody, we're going to do an activity. So these are like 9-year-olds. So they're activity. Everybody's going to ask a question. Everybody's going to answer a question. Okay, let's go. Come on. So already I had failed. So they got up there. It was chaos. It was chaos. Some of them were trying to talk to each other, the target language. A few of them, they just were afraid, so they didn't actually get up. And then I had a few who were pushing and shoving, and then one was writing all over the board. Has that ever happened to you? Yeah. So I thought, well, and they call this a speaking class. Everybody sit down, back to the book we go. Right? It was chaos. I didn't try it again for a long time. It was about a year and a half later, to be quite honest. Then what I did was line 1, line 2, I didn't tell them what to do. Also, I stayed with the question line. Very simple activity, but it's the reason why. Often we have our students do it in pairs, right? Some of them do it, some of them talk about their game, others sleep. But by getting the students up, especially with any age group, even middle school, the tough group, it gets them up. Are you guys all comfortable? Relatively. How long have you been sitting? 1 hour? Some of you since 10, right? So we're adults, we're okay. But imagine our students. English is their second language. For some of us with university, it's their third or fourth language. They're tired. They've been to other classes all day. You feel comfortable when you sit, right? Except for this person who I'm next to, so I'll walk past, right? We have to get our students up and moving. It doesn't mean we have to play baseball or something. It just means think outside of the box a little bit. Change how you do the activity so we're moving around. Okay? Any questions? Yes?
That line was very short.
Very short.
Yeah, it is okay, but there are many sentences or many long dialogues. Is it okay to use that long dialogues, that one?
Okay. I think everybody in the back can't hear, so the question was that we started with a statement. That worked well with the short sentences. How do we do it with a dialogue, right? With a dialogue, here are some options. Have 2 lines instead of like this, like this. I'm here. Other line is facing. So actually, can you come help me? 2 lines over here. And then I would start, answer. Next line, and then go through it that way. Then have them go back and practice a longer dialogue with themselves. Longer dialogues get boring, right? Go sit down. Longer dialogues get boring. Some of them like to practice, some of them don't. But if you get it up and turn it into a very interactive thing where everybody speaks once, then everybody's spoken, everybody's a bit more comfortable, then you send them back to practice the longer dialogue. Does that make sense? Okay, good. If it didn't make sense, we'd have a problem. Mini lesson 2. Can you see these objects? What do we have? Okay, let's start slowly. We have number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, umbrella. Activity's over, right? No. This group here, everybody over in this area, raise your hand. Yeah, that's good. Number 1. You're number 1. Okay? From here over, raise your hand, please. Front. Yeah, okay, we got your number 2. Then I think we were down to here, right? Here to the back. Raise your hands, please. Not in the middle, just to the back, this side. You're number 3. The middle. Number 4. Over there, Jackie's at the very end of that group. What number are we? 5. Number 5. That was not a very teacher-like thing to say, sorry. Number 5. Raise your hands. Okay. Number 1, you are the pink camera. Number 2, you're the watch. Number 3, wallet. Number 4, number 5, umbrella. Good. You have 1 minute within your teams, within your group. So we're back to small groups. Okay? So in your partner, group of 3, group of 4, you have 1 minute. How many words can you come up with about your object? It's very difficult, right? For example, microphone, loud. Exactly. Camera, picture, okay? You have 1 minute. How many words can you think of? There may be a prize. So umbrella, rain.
What?
I don't remember. I don't know.
Just a controller?
Google knows. Hold on. Okay, Google.
Yes.
How many words did you come up with in your groups?
20.
How many?
20.
20. Does anybody have more than 20?
You're the winners?
Anybody have more than 20? Oh, we have more than 20? More than 20? How many? Oh, 18 discount. 깎아주세요. I love discounts. Okay, anybody more than 20? We're just going to cheat now and write down more than 20. Okay, let's go back to our team of 20. 20 words. 20 words over here. What was your object? 20. Watch?
Yeah, it was a watch.
It was a watch. Tell us the words. Now make sure you count too.
Time, minute, hour, second, pass, hands, wrist, and digital, analog, accessory, expensive, ticking, waterproof, toy, luxury, math, and alarm, rubber, leather, cell phones.
Very good. Prize? See me at the end. That gives me enough time to find you the prize. Don't worry, we'll have the prizes. Group of 4, right? Okay, I promised. You're all my witnesses. I have to find the prizes. Right? Did I introduce the vocabulary? No. Did I say camera? Everybody repeat after me. Camera. Camera. Look at my mouth. Camera. Right? And then, only 29 more minutes to go, right? No. Instead, and this would obviously not be for your beginner students. If you did this with your beginner students, you'd have a whole different situation. This activity is more for your intermediate students. Obviously, our winning group, they were in the wrong class because they were very advanced. But I saw all of you talking, all of you coming up with words. Had it been silent, then we would have gone back to camera. And everybody pretend we have a camera, right? But this way I passed it over to you. Our front group, they knew a lot. They talked. Some of them I saw, they were showing things to each other. They were also working with each other, learning from each other. That's part of connecting, right? Sometimes as teachers, do you know what your students are thinking? No, right? And you're like, you have to learn English, you have to learn English. And we're telling them all this because it's important. And then if we're really struggling, do you want to go to a good university? I'm ashamed to say I have used that one many years ago, right? If we as teachers are always talking, right? How do you feel when how many of you remember your university days? The professors who always yipped, right? Yip, 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 right? That is how we are to our students. If we're not connecting with them, we have to give them the opportunity to connect with each other, right? Easier said than done. We start with little things like this, just getting them to brainstorm, giving them rewards, the prizes, right? That motivates them to get them speaking. Also, too, we would do the activity. I'm picking on you guys because I can't go much farther back. Or the poor cameraman, yeah. No, it's okay. I think I've already got some bruises right here. At Tessa, now I've lost my train of thought. Sorry. We also then would review this, either at the end of class or the next class. Often when we have a book, we don't necessarily think of how it's going to connect, just I have to get through 3 pages today, 2 pages tomorrow, 1 page at the end of the week, and then we have a spelling test, right? And then as long as the spelling test is good enough, I'm safe another week, right? But language learning is more than that. As teachers, we have our job, our responsibility. We have to teach the book, the content, the vocabulary words, that wonderful long list. But also, if we don't review it and do activities like this, where the kids are speaking, working with each other, hearing the words over and over again, come next week, we'll be on a new unit. They won't remember anything, right? We need to give them opportunities to not only listen and speak with the teacher, but also speak with each other. Now I'm going to turn my back to you. Another thing you never do with young children. If you turn your back for 10 seconds, you'd be amazed what happens. Yeah. Okay? So it's important to give the students opportunities to work with each other as well. Often kids come in and sit at the same desk every day. Mix it up sometimes. Kids learn differently. They learn in different ways. That's why it's important to have a variety of activities. Okay? Next. The challenge. Are you ready? Yes. Challenge. Is challenge a friendly word? Sometimes. What do you think when you're in class and you hear the word challenge? You want to win. Wow. Do all of your students want to win? Hopefully. Sometimes we get to the challenge page. This series doesn't have a challenge page, but we've seen the challenge pages. It's harder. It gets harder. And then we go back to dreamland, except for our good students who want to win. So, look around the room. What do we see around the room? Okay. Actually, there's not much, is there? We have people. Okay, let's do this a little bit differently. Everybody, oh, the cameraman's going to hate me again. Sorry. Everybody from here forwards, turn around, please. Scared?
Little bit.
Little bit. It's okay, at least you're honest. Okay. Now what do we do, right? Okay, look around the room. What do you see? Just more people, right? But in a real classroom, what we could do then is have the students move how they're sitting, make a list of what they see. Often in our classes, where's the teacher? Front. So I don't fit the regular mold. I move around a little bit to make sure we don't have sleepers in the back. Okay? Often, where do our students look? To the front. Do we decorate our classes? Yes, normally. It's better than here anyway, right? But do our students ever see what's behind them? Not really. So in a unit like this, where we have the room, use what's around you. Get the students to turn around. I've even done that with older students, and it's amazing how little people know about what's behind them. Okay? Just another simple activity, put them in pairs, have them make a list, then prize for whoever has the most words. If you have a small enough class, you have them read it out. That not only gets the students speaking, but also gets new vocabulary for anything that they don't know. Okay? Okay, we can turn around now. Back to our comfort zones, right? And that can be pair work or group work. Okay? Remember, I hear, I know. Right? I see, I remember. I do, I understand. First time I heard this, I'll be honest, I thought, no way. There is no way people learn like that. But the reality is, we need to have a multi-step process where students are doing and working with each other so that that way they understand and they remember. Okay? Now, let's take a little break. Just mix it up. I've been talking for long enough. Right? We need a break. We should be quiet, right? Just take 2 minutes with your group or your partner. Talk about what your typical connection is with your students. Be it speaking classes, reading classes, writing classes. Talk about how that's going and where you're struggling. Okay? You have 2 minutes. Talk about your classes, what you love about them. Okay, my directions were a little bit unclear. It was just, I feel sorry that you've been here since 10 and sitting around, and I could tell not many of you had spoken today, right? We had our dog, we had the wedding, we had our group, but I thought let's just give them another chance to talk. Okay? So, just also too, I think an important part of, how many of you like coming to these events? Nobody, right? Some people do, right? Of course. It's I don't know. It might be choice. It's your choice. It's your choice, right? But I think I've been to many of these. I was going to say dozens, but I think at this point it's hundreds. Hundreds of events for teachers. And we come to them and we sit in long rooms that as the day goes on get a little bit warmer, right? Then you have to go back to your school and report to your supervisor, your kyosubujang, what you learned, right? Sometimes you even have to send an email report, right? So always when I first started going to these events, I think I went to 3 or 4 a year. I didn't meet anybody. I didn't speak to anybody. I was also very shy. Really, I'm a shy person. It's cheap seats in the front. But I would come out and I would listen. And then as I began to become less shy, I began to speak more. But I realized there was never enough opportunity to talk to people who are in the same position that we are, teaching similar classes, having the same frustrations, having the same positive experiences, hopefully. So since then, whenever I do these, I try to do a little 2-3 minute break in the middle just to give you the chance to talk about your teaching and hopefully on topic and share some ideas with each other. The next time you come here out of choice, you may see some of the same people. And you can say, hi, remember me? Okay, next part. Songs and chants. Who likes songs and chants? Oh, we have in the back. Who does not like teaching songs and chants? Nobody's going to admit to it, right? Nod your head if you've had this experience. Today's the song day. Why did I come to work? Why didn't I call in sick? Oh yeah, I don't get any sick days. Okay, we're just going to play the CD, and we're going to play it again, and we're going to play it again, maybe one more time, and then say, sing. Right? That works, right? And then what do your students do? Yeah, right? We teach Mary Had a Little Lamb. We hear Mary had a right? We've all been there, right? And are the songs in the books always good? Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not, right? But songs, how many of you use songs in your classroom? Yeah? Because you have to, right? No, and some people just say, no, we skipped that page. Do you and your students enjoy singing? Yeah? Sometimes. If not, they just like being able to go, na, 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 right? Do you enjoy singing or chanting? Yes, we have one positive yes. One out of how many people are in this room? One yes, any other yeses? Yes. Okay, good, then we can just skip this section. Okay. Why use song or chants? This is where we get into a little bit of the academic part of this workshop today. It's to present a topic or a language point, to review and practice, to focus on common learner errors, to encourage extensive listening, right? Extensive and intensive listening. What does that mean? I'm going to explain it, don't worry. To stimulate discussion of attitudes and feelings. That sounds very academic for this level of book, right? Let's just skip it. And to encourage creativity and use of imagination. And to provide a relaxed classroom atmosphere. But hopefully not too relaxed that we lose control, right? To bring variety and fun to learning. This connects to what I said before. We learn one way. Some of our students learn the same way as us. Others learn completely different ways. This is us. Can you tell? We're these kids. Yeah? Yeah? Okay. I'm going to play the song. Listening ears. Okay, see? Listening ears, everybody? Oh, even in the back we have some listening ears. Towards the middle we've kind of faded. Listening ears. Are you ready? Yes. Are you ready? Yes. Are you excited? Yes. Good. If I can make it play. Okay, ready? Listen.
Page 27. D. Chant.
Camera. Camera. This is a camera. Watch. Watch. That's a watch. This, that. This, that. Wallet. Wallet. This is a wallet. This is that. Cell phone. Cell phone. That's a cell phone. Umbrella. Umbrella. This is an umbrella.
Wow, very good chant, right? Did you like that?
Yes.
No. I quite like that. This morning, I had out my computer and I was chanting along with it, doing a little dance. And my husband, who's not in education, honey, don't quit your day job, he said. I was a bit sad. But anyway, chants. What were the words from? Did anybody recognize the words? Yeah, those were the words we looked at earlier, right? Now remember I gave you all a number. Number 1, raise your hands please. What were you? Camera. Number 2 with our winning group? Watch. Number 3? Wallet. Group number 4? Wow, group number 4, you're a small group, but you did really well. Group number 5? Umbrella. We're going to listen to the chant one more time. We're going to sing along. Challenge. But don't worry, you only have to chant a little bit of it. And because you're children, you get a little bit distracted, right? So everybody, can I see your spider hands? Spider hands. Do you know why we use spider hands? Because this is really loud and really annoying. Spider hands. Everybody? Yeah, right? Much better. On my ears, their hands, your hands. So everybody with your spider hands, keep a beat. I'm going to be the director. Okay? So we're going to start with camera. Then wallet. Then. Okay, we're going to chant with the music just to make it a bit easier. Okay? Hopefully our cameraman's getting this. Okay. Are you ready?
Yes.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Spider hands ready?
Yes.
Here we go.
Page 27. D. Chant.
Camera. This is a camera. Watch. That's a watch. This, that. Wallet. This is a wallet. This is that. Cell phone. That's a cell phone. Umbrella.
Group 5.
This is an umbrella.
Very good. We lost it a little bit after group 2, but that's okay. And my skirt's still down too, which is good. I didn't even think about that until just now. Okay, so this is what the chants look like in the book. You see, we have the pictures and the words, so even if your kids don't read yet, they can listen. I didn't show this because we weren't focusing on the this and that. We were just doing a review of the vocabulary. Okay? I know, I like songs and chants. I don't think you'd ever have guessed that, but it's always fun to do them in class, have students listen to each other, then take away the music. Okay, and then if you're not so musically inclined, listen and spider hands. And just mouth the word. Now it's our review time, right? Do you like review times in the books? Yeah, because then they know it all, right? And we can go quickly. Actually, this room is a bit longer than I expected. It's very long, actually, right? So I think up to about group 1 and 2 you can see, but groups 3, 4, and 5 you can't see this at all, right? No answer? That probably means no, right? But hopefully you can still hear me. Okay, so I'll just describe this. What you can do with this is obviously read it through. It's reviewing all the key language. You can act it out. Those are the basic activities, right? You can also have students work in groups to make their own story. They don't even have to read this. You can give them sticky notes, have them cover the words, and make their own story. Obviously, the first time you do that, you're going to get this story. But if you begin doing it often, you'll begin to bring out the creativity too. Then you have students present it. Okay? You can also do the list thing and see how many objects students can identify in each picture. Okay, so there's a lot you can do with this that's beyond the student book. I'm just checking my time. I don't wear a watch. Okay, these are some ideas for the review. Now what? Break time, right? Now what? Now what? Well, homework's coming. Then you have your filler activities, right? Now what? Oh, we still have 5 minutes. And I've played hangman every day this week, right? What can I do? Here are some ideas. Have students make their own songs. It can be simple, like camera, 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 what is it? Just have them look at what they saw at the back of the room. Have students make their own dialogues, which we've talked about a little bit. Have students make up short stories using the vocabulary and the language point. Now, that sounds like a stretch. You start by getting out a piece of paper, which I'm going to borrow from this person. It's white and it's full. Fold it and have them make 2 parts. Then you build into 3 parts. Then the next month you build into 4 parts. Don't expect miracles on day 1. Anytime you do a new activity, lead into it. And then review regularly using a variety of activities. We're on unit number 3 now. Unit number 2 was last week. We're not going to worry about that again until the midterm test. But actually, it's a good idea. When you have time, go back and review previous units. Okay? Remember, students need to revisit a word, a concept, or a language point at least 15 times before it enters into their regular vocabulary. This is obviously average. Some of us are geniuses and we remember the first time, but most of us aren't, and most of our kids aren't. So we have to make sure we're doing regular review so that they're remembering and able to implement it not only for the test, but next week, next month, and next year. Okay? Homework. Who likes homework? We have 1 in the back, 2 in the back. Jackie, I can still spot you back there. My eyesight's still good enough. Okay, homework. Do your kids like homework? No. It's too hard. There's too much. I don't understand. Teacher, it's impossible. Have you ever heard that before? Many times, right? Keep homework simple. I could do a whole session on homework, but luckily, I'm almost out of time. Homework reinforces what the students have learned. Like you may think in class, camera, 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 watch, 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 wallet, 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 we got it. The bell's going to ring. They're going to go outside. They're going to get on the bus. They're going to stop for some tteokbokki on the way home, if they're lucky. Then their mom's going to say, so what did you learn at your English hagwon? Nothing. Right? They're busy. Busy people. We're all busy people. They don't remember. So homework is good because it reinforces what the students have learned. Okay? Homework should not teach new concepts. Homework should just be simple. They have a picture of a camera, maybe the letter C, and then they remember it. Okay? For example, for the lower level. So homework should just review. Remember, as quick as they were in class with their groups, they're going to be much slower at home. Right? Also, they've already forgotten probably at least 50% of what we talked about. So homework should be quick, review, should not teach new concepts. Key point. Students should be able to do their work independently, on their own. Often as teachers, we get calls from the moms, right? Something in. The homework's too hard. Oh, Mom, it's not your homework, right? So we don't want to give that burden to the moms or the dads or the nannies or whoever, right? Right? So you know they exist. I've met some of them, right? And then sometimes if you're really lucky, you get the note from the mom. And sometimes it's in Korean. If you're really lucky, it's in English. My John found the homework too hard. What that really means is mom couldn't do it. Okay? So we need to make it clear and obvious. That's what workbooks are for. I've included the picture so you look for it. Don't be afraid to give the homework for homework. That way everybody should do their homework. Mom can do the homework, dad can do the homework, nanny can do the homework, and we're all happy, right? Good. Remember, always have a backup plan. What's a backup plan? When something goes wrong, your plan B, right? Your workbook can be your plan B. Because you're going to have those days where you're feeling good. You're having a good hair day. You're happy. You're smiling. Your class starts at 9. By 9:05, you're ready to go home. Those days happen. Always have a backup plan that you can go to. That's when we get out the CD and review the songs of the year, right? Don't be afraid to do that. Always have a backup plan because things go wrong. Don't be afraid to try something new. Just plan it out so that you don't have chaos running around. And if it fails the first time, don't be afraid to try it again. Mix up activities. Not too much. Remember, kids, they need consistency. If you do an activity one day, that doesn't mean they know the activity or they know the rules or they know the drill. They need to do it consistently for a couple of weeks. Then they know it, then it gets boring, then it's time to mix up activities. If you're mixing up activities every day, nobody knows what's going on. And as a teacher, you're just tired, right? Time to go home, right? Remember, even if it's boring for you, it's probably not boring for the kids yet. Give students more room to play with language. Just like we did. Instead of camera, 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 words about the camera. The internet is your friend. Pinterest.com and Teachers Pay Teachers both have loads of activities that you can download for free. I know as teachers we don't like the word pay, right? But actually just search free activities and pages of them come up. When all else fails, smile and have fun, right? Because what else can you do, right? It's not like you can go home. Okay. Any questions? Or do you want me to go back to that page? I saw the cameras out, and I'm trying to stay out of the way. Okay. Any questions? Everybody, I can email this to you, too. I'll give you my email address, and then just email me, and I'll email it to you before Monday. Okay? Questions? Thank you for coming today, especially on Saturday.